Hey everybody, this is Rustin with the Examiner Metalholic. With us today we got Bec and Jordan from Stars in Stereo. How are you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Good.
You guys are out on a pretty nice tour right now. Drowning Pool, Flyleaf.
Yeah, man.
It's been really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, now you guys are from Los Angeles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, for those who haven't heard, because I hadn't heard of Stars in Stereo literally until this last week. So for those who haven't heard of Stars in Stereo, can you give us some background? I believe the band formed sort of from the ashes of another band, and then you brought in Bec on top of that.
Yeah, the four guys, we were playing together, and we didn't go too far with it, but you know, it kind of got to a place where we were ready to move on, and then we started writing music, a couple of us, and then you know, we all just decided we liked playing with each other too much to not do it. And then we looked everywhere for her, and obviously found her. And yeah, we went into the studio the day after we all met. So,
because it's funny, every time I ask a female-fronted band, I ask the singer who your inspirations are vocally. It's almost inevitably male vocalists. Is that the same for you?
No, actually, that's interesting. I wouldn't have thought that. I have a lot of. I mean, Steven Tyler is one male, but I mean, I guess yeah, I could say some male ones like Matthew Bellamy is awesome. But for me, it's all about like the 80s and 90s. So like Joan Jett, Cyndi Lauper, Heart. I mean, obviously they're still doing stuff today too, but and I love Garbage, Shirley Manson. So yeah.
Nice. So, and I heard a rumor, because you said Steven Tyler, so I'll stick it in there now. Heard a rumor that you guys might actually throw Dream On in there
We
tonight.
might.
yeah, we do that every once in a while. So.
Nice. That would be exciting, because Drowning Pool did it today over at the radio station.
Oh,
so
awesome.
Yeah, we heard their version. It's awesome.
yeah,
It's
so
really
that was
cool.
pretty cool. So I got to listen to the debut album earlier today, which comes out on April 9th. To me, it has a very modern rock feel, but with plenty of edgy pop sensibility. I know those are evil words. And it has a cinematic flair to it. Did you guys have a sonic direction in mind when you sort of put the band together, or did the music just sort of take you where it took you?
I think cinematic is a good word. We all had that in mind. We wanted to do something that was cinematic, but also, you know, that did have those pop sensibilities, or that did, you know, it's really what inspires us, you know.
Yeah.
We have so many different influences, but I think we definitely were going for something, and that's just what we all love, you know, that style of music, so.
Right, and then of course, as the Axeman, what about you, influence-wise?
We, like she said, we all have such different influences. So, but we also have some pretty similar ones. But personally, mine are. I bought my first guitar because of Blink-182, and but then, you know, we all like the Foo Fighters, so you know, we try and get that to come through a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I was a pop punk kid, so you know, you know, the more melodic stuff, not the shredding stuff and whatever. But like I said, you know, Frogs has completely different influences, so I love hearing what he is inspired by and trying to take that on myself and stuff. So I don't even know what it would be now.
Well, and that leads us to the songwriting in the band. I mean, is there just one or two people in the band that write the songs? Do you guys all write? How does that process sort of work for you guys?
We all write, which is kind of different, I think, for all of us from what our, you know, our first bands or whatever were. But yeah, no, we kind of will come up with our own ideas, or we'll come up with ideas together, and then we'll kind of listen to a list of them and pick which one we want to work on that day, and just kind of lock ourselves away until we get into a place where everybody likes it.
Nice. And the other day, because South by Southwest is going on, Dave Grohl did the keynote speech. He said the hardest part about creating a band is coming up with the band name. How did you guys come up with Stars in Stereo?
Well, it is the hardest part, by the way.
Yeah.
We kind of were kicking around a couple other ideas, and then yeah, it turns out we're all from different corners of the country.
Mm-hmm.
She's from Portland, and Drew's from LA. I grew up in Texas. Justin grew up in Florida, and Frogs grew up just outside of Boston. And so we were kind of like mapping all the different things about ourselves that we could incorporate into a name, and we found out it kind of makes a star. So
nice, stars and stereo.
There you go.
And then you got the cool little logo to go with it, the star with the lightning bolt and everything.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a few of the songs. The first song that you guys released, "Broken," you guys have sort of called that your mission statement in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that song really shaped the album for us too. Like, it was just we our whole thing is putting negative things, you know, things that are hard that, you know, we've had to go through or deal with, and putting them in a positive light. And you know, The Broken is really about that as well. You know, just that the differences that we all have as people can actually bring us together. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so the rest of the album, you know, every song is kind of that same vibe of, you know, putting the hard things, but putting a positive spin on them. So.
Nice. And then you guys made the video for that already, which that's pretty much you guys' first video that you guys have made in any band, right?
It was mine, yeah. She had made a few.
You're such a rock star.
She was coaching us through it.
But yeah, I mean, it's always a fun process for me. This is the first band I've been in, so my other videos were, you know, just like solo stuff. So it was a lot different experience. So it was way more fun, way better, because it was all of us coming together and doing, you know, what we all wanted, and we were just creating together and bouncing ideas off each other. We made this video from our own vision, and that was such a cool thing to be able to do.
And my interpretation of it, you know, as you were saying, you know, overcoming the bad things and persevering and determination and everything. And at the end of the day, music is that one thing for all of us that sort of shapes who we are. And when we, happiness, all the great emotions are tied to music and stuff like that.
Absolutely, it's an amazing thing.
Are there, because the entire album is wonderful, are there one or two other songs that really stand out for you guys that have a special meaning or have a great story behind them or anything?
You're like asking us to pick our favorite kid.
Yeah, everybody says, I love every song on the album. Yes, I know, but there's always one or two that stand out for everybody that, you know, for whatever reason. It could be something happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably different for both of us. I mean,
yeah,
what would you say?
Mine's probably Every Last Thing, just because that was literally the first song that we all wrote when we were just starting the process together and everything, and it's one of the only ones that from that like first week or two of writing that has made it through every different cut. And we've re-recorded it a couple times and really, you know, made it exactly how we want it to be. And so I think just the journey of that song, that sounds cheesy, but you know, the journey of that song though alone makes it really special for me.
It's persevered, it's still standing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I like playing it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's always a really fun song to play, definitely. Yeah. It's probably going to be our next video too, so we're going to be working on soon. But yeah, I mean, I would say Every Last Thing. I mean, another one for me is probably Queen of Catastrophe.
The last song on the album.
Yeah, it's more of a like slower song and more, I guess probably the most pop on the album, maybe, I don't know, but it's I love it because it's, I mean, for me personally, you know, obviously we all, as the band members, have different connections to each song, but or the same. But for me personally, that song really just spoke for like everything I've had to struggle through as a female, or you know, doing music, or you know, just being a teenager and coming out of that into adulthood and whatever it is, you know. So that song for me is just like very, very personal.
Well, and a lot of band, like in Flyleaf, I was just speaking to Jared. He said everybody in the band sort of writes lyrics in Flyleaf. But what about you guys? Do you primarily write all the lyrics, or do you guys all chip in on that?
We really all chip in, honestly. Like maybe one day someone will come up with more ideas than someone else, but it's really at the end of the day, if we don't all like it, then we're not going to play it, you know.
So it's not one of those situations where I'm the diva, I write the lyrics, I'm singing them, I have to. Awesome.
You're not really a diva.
No. We do keep in mind though that she is the one singing it, so you know, she's oftentimes the the best filter at the end of it, you know, because if she's not feeling it, you know.
Yeah, I don't see
It doesn't matter, you know, she's not going to say, it's not the king of catastrophe.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, I don't see King of Catastrophe working, but you guys also add an electronic component to your sound. How does that translate live?
I mean, probably right now we do, like, we use some tracks for some of that stuff, but eventually, you know, I think we want to incorporate some live aspects with that. You know, Frogs will probably play some stuff on keys, but at this point, you know, the stage is, you know, when you're opening, you can't take up that much room. So definitely, like, if we headline, we'll probably get more into that kind of thing. But
well, the album comes out on April 9th, so everybody get out there and buy it. Don't illegally download it or anything like that.
Yeah.
What are you guys up to after this tour?
We're jumping on the hard drive tour with Bullet for My Valentine and Halestorm and Young Guns.
So that means you guys will be back here in about 3 weeks?
Yeah, we're coming back. It's kind of funny.
Nice. See, so all you guys out there, you're hearing about it now that aren't here tonight. You can come to that show in a few weeks.
Yep.
Although I'm still saying I don't understand in what universe Halestorm opens for Bullet for My Valentine. But what do you know? So finally, totally random question of the day. If you could get rid of any current pop culture trend or person, who or what would it be?
YOLO. Just the phrase YOLO. The meaning is cool. I'm cool with that.
This is a really hard question for me. Oh my god.
Yeah, there are a lot though.
There's a lot I would get rid of, honestly. I can't even think of one thing. It's a good question. I don't have an answer. I'm sorry.
Think about that for a moment. We'll come back to it, and I'll ask you guys this question because obviously family and music are the most important things in your life. What are you guys into or passionate about outside of music?
I would say for me, like, health and fitness is important to me. I love being in nature. I love hiking. I'm vegan as much as I can be, so, you know, I like finding new vegan restaurants and things like that. Trying to cook here and there when I'm home. I'm really bad at it. He's pretty good at cooking a few things, though. But, yeah, I mean, what else? I love reading. What about you?
I'm trying to really learn, like, the business side of all the music stuff that we're getting involved in, so that I can apply it to other things. So I spend a lot of my time just kind of being a fly on the wall in different situations.
Soaking it all in.
Yeah.
Learning as much as you can.
Yeah.
Nice. Favorite writer?
Favorite writer?
Since you like to read.
It's really, really difficult because I read tons of different kinds of books, but I mean, right now I'm reading a book by Charlene Harris, and then a book by Robert Jordan, and a book by Carl Sagan. So
wow.
They're all over the place.
Yeah. Sweet.
So I have a favorite.
All right, so we'll come back to it real quick and see if you have it or not. You got that
pop culture. I really don't. I don't know. YOLO's pretty annoying. I mean, I just think that nowadays it's kind of scary to me how kids are, and I'm gonna sound like such a grandma right now, but like how kids are just so attached to technology, you know, and it's like all they do is go on the internet and they're like, you know, you see like these 10-year-olds with Facebooks or something, or Twitter or whatever it is, and they're saying like such derogatory things, or, you know, it just kind of concerns me. I feel like people are growing up very, very quickly, like, and because of the internet and because of all these things that they've been exposed to, and I don't really know if that's good, honestly. Oh, I have a great thing. I hate TMZ. All that stuff is so awful to me. All that stuff is so sickening, like, that people are so obsessed with, like, then here's Paris Hilton getting a cup of coffee. It's like, why does anyone care about that? And it's just such an obsession, you know, and that was not, I don't even know, that started happening more in the past, like, 5 years, I'd say. The past few years, I mean, it just got, like, crazy, you know?
And the tragedy of it all is that's more important to people than what's going on in the world.
I personally would love to know what size coffee that Paris Hilton buys.
Or what color candy cotton wig that Nicki Minaj is going to wear next. So,
Yeah.
So, Bec and Jordan of Stars of Stereo, famous last words.
We'll be back after these messages.
The debut album comes out April 9th. Everybody get it. And for those of you here in Boise, make sure you come to that Bullet for My Valentine show if you didn't get here to see him tonight. Gang, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.